Welcome to our Divine Origin Forum. Tonight's topic is You Program the Universe. Please remain muted as we start with an opening prayer. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. We thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and mind in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to please release your day from your mind and center yourself. Breathe in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take one last deep breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the forum. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. And Christine, if you could start our quote, please.
Christine, you'll read that.
Awaken through frequency, not force. We don't awaken others by argument. We awaken them by emitting a frequency so loud it becomes undeniable, the kind that irritates the ego and speaks directly to the soul, not through pressure, but presence, not debate, but resonance. You don't need to convince anyone. You just need to become the proof.
Absolutely. Every word there is so important. I hope you take this to heart. Take a screenshot or pick it up when you go on to the YouTube because the words are very powerful. Thank you.
Okay, Christine, if you could stop the recording and start our video, please. And Barbara, please begin your discourse.
Okay, tonight's topic, You Program the Universe. So this to me is very fascinating, and I understand it very deeply. It is so important for you to know a couple of things. Number one, the loss of memory. It's because we're so filled with details, so filled every day. We're constantly being bombarded with all kinds of intake, right? Sensory intake, mental intake, physical intake, where we're learning, where we're processing, where we're dealing with things, trying to understand life. Why did this happen? What is going on with my body? Why doesn't this work that used to work really well? And aging. Dementia has a lot of more to it than just wanting to forget. It has to do also with our diets, with just deterioration of our bodies and a lot of other things. But understand what Gregg Braden was trying to say. What he was saying is, by what you say and what you think, you command the body to respond. It's waiting for your instruction. So what we're always talking about since we started working together is that we have to be very careful, not only what we say, but what we ponder inside our own minds. because our body is reacting. Our world is responding to it as well. We're constantly altering our experience. We have one of those days when we're really not in a good mood. Everybody goes through a day like that. And the most important thing is to pull yourself out of it now that you have so much light and power in you. You don't want it to drag you down really far, because it just will draw to you everything in that frequency. It isn't pleasant. And you ever notice you're in a bad mood, you drop something on the floor and break a dish, then the next thing you do is cut yourself with a knife. The next thing you do is you can't find something. The next thing somebody says something and you snap at them. It just is a snowball effect. So the responsible, spiritual, mature being doesn't let our emotions get the best of us, doesn't let us take us for a ride we don't really want to go on. The road is rocky enough, and we've got to watch where we step as we move along, or we'll trip and we'll fall, and we'll have episodes of recovery that takes a long time. What you think, what you feel, what you say, and what you do moves everything in your life in the direction of that energy. A lot of people say, well, I know this. I know this. It's not about just the knowing. The knowledge is important. It's the experience that makes it into wisdom. Once you know something and then you do it for a little while and then you stop and go back to your old way, you're just toying with the possibility of reaching your potential. Nothing wrong with it, but be aware when you're doing this. Some people start distracting themselves so much with things that are not going to get them where they want to go. Your greatest point of the day is when you sit in the silence. Even if you don't pray or make, any kind of request of the universe, if you're just sitting there in the silence and just maybe humming, or maybe just listening to some music that just brings you into a very quiet place, it's very healthy and nourishing. And every once in a while, what it's going to do, like he was talking about, you're sitting in your car and you're just kind of, just sitting there and not really thinking about anything. It's the same thing. And it allows for the inner voice to be speaking to you, your higher self, your guides. You may not, of course, understand that this is happening, but you'll feel inspired, or you'll start thinking about something very important to you that you've been waiting for an answer. Anything like that could possibly happen, or nothing, not even be aware. But in that quiet time, because we really have very little of that, there's always noise, there's always intake, there's always things happening that causes us to not be quiet inside, so that our higher self and our guides and the angels around us can communicate with us, can send us inspiration. If you start your day with a question to your higher self, I want to understand something, whatever it is. I want to understand this. Help me to understand it. And what your higher self will do is bring you circumstances that's going to eventually lead you to the answer that you've been on a quest for. It isn't going to necessarily come from inside. It isn't going to come from your ego. It's going to come from somewhere higher than that, from guidance that is divine. And that guidance that is divine comes from your own higher self in many, many instances. In fact, most of them. And it's from your own Akashic record that he mentioned briefly. And that Akashic record has the records of all your lives, every place you've been, everyone you've been, acting out, all of the different circumstances that you've been in, the different professions, all of the things can be recalled in the times when you're quiet. You see, if you're constantly reading and seeking new knowledge, or constantly watching movies, or constantly distracting yourself with life, you don't have that quiet time. It's so important. So how do we actually program the universe? It's simply by what we believe. That becomes your law, and that law will act out in your life every day until you change that law and align it with divine universal law. It starts with the word love and ends with the word love. And when you get there, where you're really concentrating on that, if you're outside of that universal law of love, you're going to know it. You're going to hear it when you're speaking. You're going to feel it in your gut when your emotions come up. And then you know you have some work to do inside. Nobody gets anywhere unless they empty out the old, the past, the traumas, the anger, the fear. Everything is the opposite on the spectrum of love. You see? This is the simplicity of ascension. You're in charge. Isn't that wonderful? You're in charge of your ascension. You can agree to move forward with grace, or you can do this kicking and screaming, but your higher self says, listen, we've got contracts, we have a mission, and the ultimate mission is to reach your divine potential. If you think that this isn't going to happen to you, you're not listening to your own higher self. We get so sidetracked with everything around us, and we want to have fun, and we want to go play, and we want to be with people, and we want to That is for segment 1 and 2 of life. Segment 3, which all of you are old enough to be in, is for reflection, for elimination, and for restoration. Everything from physical to mental and to emotional. We were set up and wired for these 3 segments of life. The 3rd segment, most people are pretty much retired or getting there, and they have the time available for them. But how do we use it? How do we use it? Or do we keep working and working and working and giving of ourselves to everybody but guess who? The very person you came in to save. The very person you came in to love, heal, and care about. We're so outer directed because it hurts sometimes to feel the pain that we still carry within us. Nobody wants to look at it. But if we don't, as I have experienced, if we don't really do that inner work and make room for more light to enter every single cell, every particle everything that has to do with our Merkaba, within our Merkaba, within our fields, and our physical body as well, where we hold everything in this incredible electronic system that we have within our own fields. If we don't, the light can't enter in. In these minute places, we would definitely not want to go, but it has to be done. We say, a lot of people say, but I forgave everybody. And that's wonderful. I'm glad you did. But until you've dealt with the emotional memory, even the muscle memory, everything, all memories, until you deal with how you reacted to it when it happened to you, it's not over. It isn't over inside you. This part of life isn't the time when you're laughing and joking around. You're dealing with things that you really don't want to face anymore. But the deal is this: you want to be happy? I'm talking about forever. You have to let go of what you're holding on to. It doesn't go away till you make it go away, till you send it into that violet fire, which doesn't destroy it. It transmutes that energy and sends it back in to be used for the purposes you came: to heal, to share that light, that beautiful Christ light that moves through you, to share the experience of how you healed with others so that they can heal. You're not saving them. You're helping them to understand how to get through the hard times that a lot of people are going through, and they don't even know what's happening. They haven't a clue. They think God doesn't love them anymore. I actually had somebody saying that to me the other day, that God's punishing them. God doesn't punish. We punish ourselves because we don't forgive ourselves. We can forgive the whole world, but we forget one very important person. We have to forgive ourselves. We hold that anger that we didn't do something. We weren't perfect. We didn't, or we did something. And I can't love myself because I was mean. I was this, I was that. But if you believe that God is in charge and everything happens for a reason, you start to understand why God uses you sometimes to be that meanie, or to be walking away from something, or to be involved with something. Your heart will guide you. Your mind will not. This is a heart issue, an issue of love. But when we fight loving ourselves because we know what we did, well, guess what? You did it because it was part of a contract. You did it because it was something that you had to do. For you to be aware not to do it anymore could be just for you. Or it was that you were going to help them break through and you needed tough love. You needed to use tough love. And tough love is still love. You see? The whole point of the whole conversation, all this while you were only seeing aspects of yourself in others. You see? You got to come home to mama and own it just long enough to let it go. There I am. Go figure. I had no clue I had that in me. And when you realize it, it's actually the healing in itself. And you just let it go into that violet fire. If it's a traumatic thing and you're angry and frustrated and full of just rage, you throw it into the fire. You demand it out of you. You have to take charge. You have so much power you don't use, or you use it in ways against people, which isn't exactly the right use of power. It's called misuse of power, miscreations, constantly. We did that for many, many centuries. Miscreations all over the place. But we forgive ourselves, understanding we did what we came to do. We can make amends if we feel we need to. We can change our way. It's a choice. Choose wisely. It's very important that you choose wisely. Think about yourself, how you feel, how you felt when you said something to someone. Think about, am I being productive? Is this what I'm saying going to help someone? Or am I just letting out my fumes on them and just venting? People vent. They vent because they haven't processed the anger. They haven't released it. And so they'll be with somebody and get into a heated conversation and it all comes pouring out. We're very complex. We're very complex. Our bodies are very complex. Our minds are. Our personalities are. You came here to figure you out. A lot of people that I would sit and talk with, they would say to me, I could tell you why so-and-so did this, and I could tell you exactly what she's all about. And I just sit there and I listen and I say, really? And who are we really talking about right now? Because I could see what they were saying about the other person was what they're all about. It's them. But they don't see that. They don't see themselves. And that's the whole point of the mirror. I say this to you, and you're listening, and you say, I've heard this, I know this, but what do we do with it? Do we utilize this? Do we make this a practice of seeing ourselves in everyone? Sometimes it's so cute because with me, I'll see myself in someone, it doesn't even have to be pretty. And I start to laugh. I go, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Look how I'm acting. Look what I said. And I get a kick out of it now. I just find it funny because all these different personalities and aspects of yourself is always playing out in front of you. You may not like it so much when you hear it from somebody else, but it's yours too. It's yours too. So what do you do with it? Do you just laugh it off and let it go? Or do you say, I really want to get rid of this because I didn't like how that felt when they were saying this. Once you heal yourself to the point where you actually have worked on all these aspects, because a lot of people will show you the same aspect. But once you get to a certain point, it's not like it hurts you and makes you angry. It might hurt your feelings and you feel sad that they would say that. But to get angry, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But if it should, that immediately it's interrupting your peace and your comfort. You don't want that. So rather than just ignore it or say, oh, I'll just stay away from them and it'll be all better, it won't happen that way. Your higher self will bring another person to show you, and just keep repeating this over and over in little different ways from different personalities until you start to say, I'm sick of this. I don't like this anymore in my life. And then you'll do something about it. But that's the difference between cooperating and doing this with grace and ease, or fighting the whole process that's being a gift to you. People want to leave life because they don't like to struggle. They don't like having to go through all of these experiences that bring up the past and the dark shadows. But I tell you, you came here for this purpose. Some of us have gone through a lot of sadness, a lot of hurt and pain and suffering. And it's weighed heavy on us. It does. Until you start to understand life better and deal with the emotion of it and let it go so that you can shine like the brightest light in the room. And your light, as you keep working on yourself, becomes so bright and the frequency so high that you walk in a room and it's like somebody turned the light on. And all that light that you're emanating is entering into all the fields of the people around you and the space around you. That is a savior moment when that happens. And you're just there and you're loving and you're just looking around at yourself in everybody and loving every aspect of yourself. You want to know peace. You want to know love. It just lifts you right out of this 3D experience and leaves you feeling so beautiful and so loved. And it's all about you. What you brought to the people is the light that you are. Get to that point, and you will know for yourself what it feels like to be in those shoes of an angelic type of person. And you will be fulfilling your mission on earth. If you never said another word to another person, if you never tried to guide or mentor, if you never did, just being that light in the room is all you needed to do. And what they do with that light is up to them. If they use it to heal themselves or to wake up a little more or to share it with others, great. Or they can misuse it and go out drinking and partying and just doing 3D stuff and wasted all that energy that you so lovingly brought. But it's not for you to even give it a thought. That's up to everybody to use that light as they wish. But my thought to you is be the light in the world. Be the kind one, the fun one, the person that always encourages and lifts. You don't know why people do what they do. You think you do. You think you do because you're thinking out of instead of the feeling world. If you feel something, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. And when you feel sadness in someone, if you could just concentrate light on them, you'll even find them being drawn to you and want to speak to you. And whatever comes out of your mouth in love will be the greatest thing that ever happened to them that day. That is why you're here. Yeah. So it's 1 minute to 8. I want to be timely. So I turn it back to Debbie and those that are on the YouTube listening to this. You can join the forum every Wednesday. OurDivineOrigin.com is I'm trying to pull myself back into my mind instead of OurDivineOrigin.com is our website address, and you can sign up to come in. You send me an email. If you're listening and you want to hear the video and the song, hit more next to the title and then more the second time, and it'll all be listed there and you can hear everything that went on except for segment 2. So God bless you, and thank you for listening, and thank you all that are here. Love you all. God bless. I'll finish up on the closing statement. Debbie?
Thank you, Barbara. Christine, if you could play the song, which is not recorded.
Power of the spirit. I said energy before. Power of your spirit. Did you hear what they were saying? God is within me. The spirit is within me. God isn't out there someplace. God is expressing through us. We're bringing God's love to the world. Just remember that. Thank you.
Okay, Christine, if you could pause the recording. And Barbara, if we could please have your closing statement.
So we have had quite a conversation about you program the universe to understand our part in this creation, in the evolution, in the constant flow and ebb of life. Each one of us, knowing that God is expressing through each of us, through our personalities. It's everybody coming together as one, starting to look at each other and realize, you know what? All of these different people that are in my life, the things that they do, I can see myself in them. And as we start to do that, we start to have this oneness consciousness developing within us. This program that you're doing is adding to the understanding of who you are, this aspect of God that you are, coming from your heart, not when you're in your issues, not when you're in 3D mode, but when you're actually in a place where you're coming from your heart, where you're being you in an agitated state, in a state of peace, so that you can understand other people. That's your understanding of yourself. Even if it's agitating you when you hear them speak or what they're talking about or how they're doing something, you're actually agitated because of something inside you. And as you understand this more and more, you come to really just want to hear who people are and just take in who they are and then look at it from the aspect of self. There I am in all these different ways, and ways of speaking and acting and talking and using situations in different ways and learning differently. And it's all about you realizing we're all just trying to understand ourselves. That's all we are. And we call the people that we are with, whether it's for a 5-minute being together or a lifetime. And you're looking at yourself and you say, oh, I don't like Uncle Joe because he does this, that, and the other thing. Well, Uncle Joe and you, other people see in you. So get over it, clean yourself up, stop doing what Uncle Joe does, and become more of a refined version of yourself. This is all we're trying to do, is become the best version of ourselves and leave out all the judgment. Judge yourself just long enough, own it, let it go, and start finding the joy in your life, the love in your heart, the wonder of life, the beauty of life. Start seeking that and you'll find it. If you want to wallow in 3D and 4D, good luck to you and have a very nice rest of your life going through all the rigors of those levels of energy. But if you really want to be in a state of joy, peace, and love, keep working on yourself. It is worth every moment of you looking inside and saying, oh boy, I got to take care of this because it's just aggravating me and I can't get it out of my mind. It drives you nuts. It keeps looping in your head. Get rid of the loop. You can do that. Nobody else can do it for you. Or you're just going to keep drawing people to you to keep you in the loop. That's not the kind of loop I want to live in. And I don't think you do either. I can't stress enough. It is worth every minute if you would just get it and not just know it, but do something about the things that aren't right yet. And how you know is because things aggravate you. It irritates you. You want to hide because you don't want to hear it anymore or see it. Go there just long enough to let it go. Make peace with the love in yourself. Make peace with life. Make peace with nature. Make peace with your body. Forgive everybody and everything. And take care of yourself. Because if you can love yourself, you can love anybody. Believe me, we haven't been such angels. And we haven't been so pleasant all our life. But you certainly can. You can be. Just want it more than anything. Want to be out of your misery. Want to be friends with yourself and enjoy the people around you. And those that don't want to be with you, just send them love and light. Let them go. They're not ready for you. We don't fit here anyway. I always felt like a stranger in the world, but it was okay because I learned so much about it and why I chose that path. The path of compassion, it's really a tough one. It really is. But it's worth every moment. It really is. You have to realize that God is moving through you, speaking to you, speaking to the people in your life through you. Through you. That's what animates you. God isn't out there. You're talking to yourself, your higher self, that divine portion that you really are. That is the totality. That is where you're seeking to be. And then you'll be talking to yourself and you'll be talking to your divine one. That's who you're talking to. God lives within you. Just keep remembering that. We pray to God. We're praying to our higher self because that is the God in you. Call in that Christ light all the time. Keep that shining right through every cell of your being. Make sure you take care of yourself, okay? A lot's happening in the world. You don't need to involve yourself in things that aren't right in front of you, but you certainly can bless it and send it on its way. So I'm going to close now, and we're going to do the planetary prayer, and I have enjoyed being with you tonight. The address for the YouTube is Our Divine Origin. I didn't mention that before. Okay, so God bless you all, and we'll see you next week. But let's do our prayer, and then we'll go get a good night's sleep.
Thank you, Barbara. I will read our closing prayer. Please remain muted. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions and comments, stories that have touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency even higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. So be it. We invite you all to remain for the 10-minute prayer before saying goodnight to each other. We will be closing the evening with the planetary prayer as our collective call for the light to bless every kingdom upon the earth, to create a new heaven and a new earth. The words are on the screen to help you recite this beautiful prayer. Christine, if you can please start the planetary visualization, which is recorded.
So let's sit nice and tall in our seats, our feet on the ground. Straighten up your spine. Let that light be able to move nicely through your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Call up that light into your feet, up your legs, the trunk of your body, your arms, hands, up your neck and in your head as it loops back down into the earth, through your body, out the soles of your feet in a continuous flow. Let's begin setting everything into motion. I call for the divine Christ radiance to surround me, hermetically sealing around me. Nothing but love can penetrate this seal of divine light. I call for the divine light to enter my crown directly from source, moving through every atom, molecule, cell, and energy within my body and fields. The flow of divine light moves through my body into the earth, out through the soles of my feet, continuing in a steady flow and building in potency. I ask my higher self to connect my heart with the other prayer warriors all over the world, to create a unified effort as one mind, one heart, one intent. I call to the benevolent beings of light for their assistance. I ask my higher self to add power to the words of this planetary visualization. Now let us rest in the divine light, concentrating on our breath and on the light flowing. Let it clear your mind, breathing in the divine light and hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. One last time, breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out all the divine light. Extending your arms, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, about a foot apart. Visualize the earth and her atmosphere between your hands. The light will begin to flow into your hands and into the earth and her atmosphere. You'll feel it flowing. Let us call in the divine light. I am calling the violet ray as violet fire to flow directly from source into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating into the earth's surface all the way through to the core in a steady flow. I am calling the divine Christ radiance to move through my body, out through my hands and heart. The divine light is pouring into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating the surface and continuing to the center of the planet in a steady flow, blessing the earth in divine light. Now let us direct the divine light with authority. I am directing the divine light into the planetary grid lines, the electronic grid and meridian lines surrounding the earth, the ley lines crisscrossing the earth, repairing and charging these lines as the divine light moves in a continuous flow. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the kingdoms represented on earth and all life within each kingdom, the elemental, plant and food chain, the animal kingdom, human kingdom, angelic kingdom, and all kingdoms known and unknown. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the dimensions of the earth, penetrating these dimensions and all life within each dimension. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the waters of the earth, on the surface, under the surface, in the atmosphere, and all life within these waters, purifying the water as God intended in the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all land masses, the continents and islands of land upon the earth's surface, and all life living upon the surface and under the surface. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the cities, towns, and communities upon the land, and all life living within inhabited locations on the earth. I am directing divine light to penetrate all of humanity on earth, every man, woman, and child incarnated on earth, lifting them in the light, awakening and ascending ever higher as divine source intended from the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all species of animals on the land, flying in the sky, all organisms and elementals on the surface and beneath the surface of the earth. I am visualizing the benevolent beings of light upon the earth, assisting all humanity, showing us the way, guiding us, assisting those awakened, and embracing those just awakening, leading humanity to a higher reality and to bring the concepts of a higher order of divine love for yourself and others. Now breathing deeply, taking in the entire picture of all that you have visualized, marveling as you help create a new heaven and a new earth, filled with divine light, as divine source intended from the beginning. Let us express our gratitude. I am thanking the benevolent beings of light for their assistance and guidance. I thank my higher self for giving power to my words, manifesting my divine vision. I thank the divine light for its steady flow of purity to all creation. I thank Mother Earth for providing all of our needs from her abundance and beauty. I thank the angels in every color of the rainbow for their daily assistance and blessings. And I thank our divine source for all of creation. Concentrating on your hands as that light is pouring into the earth. And now place your hands upon your heart and feel the divine flow of light, giving thanks for being of service to our divine source. Now rest your arms. Press your feet to the floor. Become aware of your surroundings. And when you are feeling ready, open your eyes and return fully present. This visualization and directives of light is to co-create and manifest the transformation of our planet, giving back to her for all she offers to us. This is God's plan for this planet and all life upon her. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen. You can have a copy of this visualization and a prayer to cleanse the earth. Visit our website, ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you.
Okay, Christine, if you could stop the recording for the night and turn the host back over to Barbara. And you are invited